Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Hey, hey.
You're listening to Squatch Talks Podcast. Real stories and real encounters told by real researchers. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Oh,
It's the season.
Tis the season to be sickly.
I always am this time of year.
Oh, the stress weakens your immune system.
I'm not under any stress.
How do the shorts look behind me?
I like it.
Can you see them okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the mug up here. It's funny. I haven't listened to the last episode that much, but I was just listening to the part with Tira.
Yeah.
I thought it came out pretty good. Her talking, with the drone footage in the background.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did.
Cool. I thought it was fun, That's just like a little
It's
taste.
different. It doesn't,
It's definitely different than us sitting here
Yeah.
and not having my light ring working.
I really feel like crap, man.
You sound like you feel like crap. You know what? I was okay with whatever you decided because I don't want to push you, but
we should go on. You did that BBC thing,
yeah,
and we mentioned it on the last one. You ought to do you know what I mean?
Okay. And I actually have
in front of people.
I have full audio of that event. I recorded the whole thing.
Oh, I was sure that you would.
Yeah, I mean from start to finish, and it actually came out really good.
Yeah. Do you have permission to use it?
I mentioned it to them. They haven't paid me.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I was supposed to get paid. I enjoyed going out with them and checking out the way they do things, which was cool.
What was it again? Ong'S hat?
Ong'S hat. Yeah, ARG, alternate reality gaming. But that's just a newer portion of it. It's like one of the oldest conspiracy theories, I guess you could say. Okay. And it used to be allegedly this small little town that had, during Prohibition, it had some bootlegging going on and prize fighting going on. But yeah, it really wound up being pretty cool. But you're right. We should definitely mention that thing I did with the BBC. That was pretty cool. But I wanted to reflect on our weekend still because I'm still like what a great time it was to hang out with you guys. And we had a lot of fun. But just kind of going back in my mind now at some things we can do differently in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke to Jacob, but this is that young man I mentioned who is a film student.
Oh, different Jacob.
Different Jacob. And we had a nice conversation on Monday. And yeah, he's made himself available to do filming and editing for us.
Nice.
Okay. Only issue, he doesn't have a camera.
Working on it.
So
I got old ones. We got old ones. I gotta upgrade.
Right. I have my Canon, but
yeah,
I have an old Sony, but that's really the Sony's outdated.
Yeah.
So I was looking. Oh man, I don't know if you saw on Trace or not. There was a woman who was allegedly selling this gear that she had bought, right?
Yeah.
And I was making her. I thought I was doing a nice thing by saying, "Hey, I'm sorry you're in an issue with your health, but I said maybe I can use some of the gear and help you out." And like right away, I kind of felt like there was something wrong with the whole thing. And then I found out it was one of these scammers.
Yep.
So I'm glad I didn't give any credit card information or buy anything.
Yeah, anyway.
But the rig that she was picturing looked pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
And it came with the SLS camera, it came with the tablet, the Sony Handycam, and this grip, this Z grip. So that's something I'm going to look into.
Yeah. Yeah, we should for sure.
I figured the SLS camera Brian could use, so I was going to get like a bundle and be like, "Hey, you know what I mean?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was trying to buy it too. Yeah.
So anybody on the Trace Facebook page, don't purchase anything from some of these people that claim they're selling gear. And in addition to, of course, once this airs, since we're not live, but once this airs. It'll be after the fact, right? It'll be after the fact, and we will have already celebrated Thanksgiving with our loved ones and families.
And loved ones and
And
families. Yeah,
I'm supposed to pick up on that.
Families too.
Yeah. Trying to get the Squatchaholic shirt. There it is. Anyway. Right. Now, if I sit this way, it's opposite though. And we look like we're
opposite day.
It's opposite day. Anyway, it's kind of the best I could do on short notice. But anyhow, we will have already
short notice. We do this every Wednesday.
It's like clockwork.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will have already enjoyed our meals with family and friends. Hopefully everyone watching had a great time and a peaceful, healthful holiday. And you know, I was going to say we could kind of incorporate some of the things around this time of year, like, hey, Nathan, what do you have to be thankful for this year at Thanksgiving?
Super baby man.
Amen.
The family. I love having everybody here.
Yeah.
It's the best. It
I
really
know.
is.
Oh, I know. You really you eat it up. I feel bad taking you away to go out squatching sometimes because it's like you can't wait to get back. You know?
I know.
So
yeah, that's where I want to be.
Well, you're very fortunate. I'm going to be blessed with my 2 adult kids coming to see me on Friday evening, and my younger daughter's boyfriend will be joining us. So I'm cooking a turkey breast in my new air fryer.
There you go.
Yeah. But tomorrow, Tristan will be coming over, and Heather and Tristan and I will be taking a hike out in the forest. That's how I like to. That's my MO. You know, on the day of, I go out in the woods. So we're gonna get us some Wawa gobblers, some turkey gobblers, and head out. But hey,
they're good.
I've gotten results on Thanksgiving a few times now.
Yeah.
You know, the last time Heather and I went out, we got some real distinct wood knock responses, like initiated by them. I just kept going back and forth for a while. And I've gotten growled at on Thanksgiving. Who knows what tomorrow could bring, you know?
Yeah.
Or a couple of days ago when you're watching this.
If it happened, we'll let you know.
If it happens, we'll get you on the next episode. We'll go live. Yeah. Hey, that's something we can do. Except the reception sucks out there.
Yeah.
No, I got a lot to be grateful for, of course. Not only family and friends, but hey, you know, we have a lot of people who have helped us along the way so far, and we're grateful.
That's for sure.
All of their support. I got a little message from Eric Mintel from Eric Mintel Investigates today, wishing us a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And you know, saying we need to get together soon. Hopefully we'll be able to do some investigations with Eric Mintel's team again. You know, that was a lot of fun. He just did a paranormal podcast episode from UK. So isn't that kind of funny? Eric was doing a podcast for over there, and they came over here
to do a podcast with you.
With me. It's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah. So getting to that. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to add to the gratitude list, but
no, not really.
I know. And basically, we're kind of like started here, and I never even said like "welcome back." Let's say it together this time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Welcome back.
You're not supposed to hesitate when you say one. I got a phone call
from the
peanut
Clinton
shop.
Peanut shop.
Yes, sir. The owner's not really into it.
Yep.
Because he doesn't believe in that crap.
Okay.
But he likes what we're trying to do. He likes what we're trying to start. And he said if we can get the Port Clinton Hotel into it, it's a go.
Wow.
So,
what does that mean though? The Port Clinton, is there something that we should know about with that?
Oh, it's haunted. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't been bothering you with this.
Oh, no bother.
Not that it's a bother. I don't want to say it that way. Getting my ducks lined up before I dropped it on you.
Okay.
I have somebody behind the scenes working on this right now.
Cool.
And I was going to kind of see what she was doing. If you don't mind indulging me.
I don't mind at all.
So I told her we were going to do an investigation. Took it upon herself to do a bunch of research on the Port Clinton Hotel. Turns out it's haunted. So we actually have a leg up and information to take to the owner. Look, we already did this work, you know, we're really into this type of a thing. And I want to try to get.
And here's a way to promote your place on our podcast. And yeah.
Well, that too. But then the three of us, Patty and Eric, you and Heather and me and Terry, we're going to rent some rooms up there and we're going to go and then, you know, check out the area, maybe do some squatching and then make plans to go back and investigate it. So I'm trying to get stuff lined up and I don't want to bother you too much until I have details ironed out. I got her working on that. Plus, I know you're not super paranormal guy.
I have, you know, I have an interest and I enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. But
there's just so much out there. Already,
and you're doing so much already. You don't need to be.
I mean, but you know what? People like that stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't care, whatever it is. Like you said last time, if it's weird, we'll go look at it.
That's right. It's weird.
I
we'll
love
go
that
look at
by
it.
the way.
I know. I like that. We got two of them now.
I love it.
If it's weird, we'll go look at it. And your tent's been teabagged. That was what?
Those are catchy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what Robert said. Bob White. He said that should go down in squatching lore.
That's
your
right.
tent's been teabagged.
No doubt. Oh, that's funny. But no, that was too good not to leave in. I mean, I could have cut it and put it in the bloopers, but it just seems so appropriate there, you know.
Yeah, sure. It's true.
But anyway, the idea sounds great to me. You know, I'm happy to participate if it involves a weekend getaway.
That's right. And that involves 2 weekend getaways.
So yeah, I'm definitely interested. But
sweet.
We could do. I would imagine we could do both in one night. The hotel, you know,
well,
and
I was planning on there's going to be more than enough of us to split up into 2 groups.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
So we can do both in one night. We'll and we can edit the films together. I figured we'd start. The hotel closes at 2 a.m, so you know.
Oh, but if we're rooming there.
Yeah, we can be doing something the whole time.
The whole time, yeah, and have EMFs and
Mm-hmm.
you know, REM pods set up, K2 meters,
Yeah,
night vision.
and if that gets to be boring for the 2 of us, by 4 a.m, we can go traipse up the hill.
Right around the corner. Damn straight. That's the time to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm thinking, because guess what? We'll make an all-nighter out of it.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Go home and sleep in a hot tub.
That's an awesome episode.
Wouldn't that be great? The sleep deprivation alone will be worth filming.
No doubt. But no, I like the idea very much, and you're never bothering me. You know that. I'm always
I
open
know.
for ideas, so don't think that. I actually had fun though. It was freezing cold out. I will say that on Friday night.
Yeah.
Saturday it was. We all met here at Nasboro headquarters, and so we shot down the road to Ong'S Hat, and they had some neat gear though. They had a H6, I think it was H6 recording device, and they had their microphones with handheld. There was 2 directional microphones with these big like wind covers over them.
Yeah.
Okay, and they had like a hand grip type of mount, so they could kind of switch in between people.
Okay.
And so there was Mark, who was the interviewer from the BBC, and Emma, who's the producer. Okay. So she was doing all the recording and stuff, but also moving the mic around. And yeah, we basically took them for a night hike around Ong's Hat, and the Batona Trail, talking about all kinds of stories.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I got to talk about Bigfoot. It was me, Andy, and this guy Rob, who is friends with Andy. And Rob had a wealth of stories. He knew a lot about Ong's Hat, so he was great to have on. And then we each kind of had our own opinions of the Jersey Devil and stuff. It was just like one thing after the next,
That's cool.
So I'm pretty sure they got the material they needed. And afterwards, like I said, I was freezing cold at this point. It was like 32, maybe 31 degrees.
Yeah.
So I said to the producer, I don't really think we need to do the campfire now, do you? I think we got everything we need here. Because we're gonna have to drive down 4 miles, make a fire, you know what I mean? I was like,
right.
There is something quite either exciting / terrifying about stepping into pure darkness. Well, the pines, they have a habit of muffling all sounds pretty much once you get so far in. And sound travels unusually through these forests.
Why?
And I think it's just because the sheer density of the woods, with the roadways that exist and all the different animals in here. Everything's watching you at some point, isn't it? And kind of marking your progress through the forest. And at that point, then your mind tends to take over a little bit. You might think, what did I just hear?
So what I'm hearing from you is if I was to scream in here, the trees would muffle it to the point that nobody would have.
You would get so far, and that would definitely be muffled, yeah. Certainly in the summer when there's more foliage. And if you do that, Eric might pick you up on his microphone and think you're a Sasquatch there. That's the only problem.
And what? I should also say, Eric, you have this incredible thing in your hand here. Could you just describe for me what it is what it is that you're holding there?
Well, I'm holding a very sensitive pair of microphones. They're actually the gold variety from Kimbrough Audio, and it's hooked up to my H1 Zoom digital recorder. And I have a $5 selfie stick and a little pouch to hold the recorder. But what it does, it allows me to get higher up. So that way, if we are, having some return vocalizations from whatever, we're looking for, in this case, Bigfoot or, Jersey Devil for some people, but it gets a little bit higher up in the air, and it also helps to prevent the rustling sounds that we sometimes pick up from people who shuffle their feet after I might do a provocation. Like a hoop, a whoop or a howl or some type of wood knock. But yeah, this is just one of the devices I use when I'm out doing research. As I mentioned, I have a set of headphones that I can also put into this port, and then it gives me like a bionic ear as well. So it's a pretty neat invention. One of my fellow researchers came up with years ago, and it's captured quite a lot of interesting sounds over the time I've been doing this. That's very city.
We're just lost out here. We're just lost out here.
So which of you knows the mythology of Ong'S Hat? Well, I think you were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
If you could explain to me, as you understand it, what the story of Ong'S Hat is, in terms of the mythology that's kind of wrapped around it.
Well, there's two stories that kind of get connected as one ends, another one begins, and they're described in a book. An author whose last name was Beck wrote a book called The Forgotten Towns of New Jersey, and he talks about a man named Ong that lived here and loved to dance, and this was a dancing town and a drinking town, and so on Saturday night during the dance, he wasn't giving one of the gals enough attention, and so she took his hat off and she stomped on it, which is what anybody would do if they weren't getting enough attention, so you can't blame her for that. And so that's kind of where that story ends, and the second story picks up with him grabbing his hat and, out of drunken discouragement, throwing it as hard as he can to get stuck up in a tree. And it stays there for months and months and months, and Ong's hat never had a name. And so, as the story goes, somewhere along the line, somebody decided, well, the hat's still there, let's just call it Ong's Hat. And it's a little oversimplified, I think, because, how could it be that easy to name a town, but that's how they say it happened.
It is a very distinctive name of a town. Like, you don't forget Ong'S Hat.
No.
do you?
Careful.
Thank you.
There's also another version to that story,
Tell me, Eric.
that there was a farmer from, I guess it was Egg Harbor Township, that used to grow grain. And this area was about halfway between their farm and I believe it was like, trying to think of it, like the area that they were bringing their grain to. But they made a small dwelling, and it was originally called Ong'S Hut. And that changed to Ong'S Hat on maps and things that it still shows up today. But that's another version of it. And then, of course, the whole thing back in the 1980s and early 90s with the what is it, AGR, I forget, that stands for Gaming Reality, Alternative Gaming Reality, I think it's
ARG.
called. ARG, Alternate Reality. Yeah.
There's another version of that story.
Hey.
I feel like
There
common
is.
theme.
I think the two of you are wrong.
Okay, here we go.
Perfect.
So Andy has another version.
There is another version. There was a Native American Indian from the Lenape tribe that lived in this area, lived around here, and he vanished. And the story goes, nobody was able to find him. Nobody what happened to him. And just up the road here, when we come to the crossroads, they discovered his bloody hat in the bushes on the crossroads, and that corner then was known as Ong'S Hat.
Well, there you go. There's 3 different versions.
All right, so I just have to ask now: is there a 4th, 5th, or 6th version of how Ong'S Hat got its name?
Well, actually, there is. Of course, there is. There is another version, and the other story goes that there was a wealthy businessman travelling from Burlington down to this, down to Tuckerton, I believe, and they were travelling on stage, and the guy's chef, who was a Chinese fellow by the name of Ong, his hat blew off. So his hat blew off and blew into the bushes. So the stage driver pulled up, got off, and Ong got off to go and collect his hat. Well, while he's down on the, on the ground, picking his hat up out of the bushes, the business owner kind of got out of the carriage, had a look around, and thought, well, this might be a good place to put a town here, and a dance hall and a few other things, and that's how Ong'S Hat got its name. So they stopped at this location, and the businessman thought, yeah, let's put something up here, and he built a little restaurant and dance hall, and things went from there.
Well, and then there's that other...
Hold on. Come over here.
There's that other story, if you recall, that talks about these Princeton scientists who were doing some type of research, and there was some kind of nuclear fallout or radiation leak from a local military base. And they had I'm trying to remember the name of the organization, but there was it's like some kind of, I forget the title that it had. But they were also looking into like remote viewing and other like forms of healing and things like that, and I forget the terminology, but they supposedly, formed this community out here that kind of blended the two interests, and they were trying to, again, create this portal, if you will, and that's where the theory of that egg thing came about, right? And the story goes that they managed to transport themselves and the whole community to a different dimension of Earth, one that was not habitated by people. So I don't know. I'm not, like I said, an expert on Ong'S Hat. I'm a Bigfoot guy, but I did a little reading to brush up on what we were talking about tonight. So there's just so many different stories, and they're interesting. But one thing I wanted to add to what Andy was describing about the ecology of the area is we have a lot of bog iron as well in the ground. And so of course, during the early American Revolutionary War, this area was well utilized for production of cannonballs and other, iron-type products, and they would transport it via the canals, and this area is also very rich with agricultural in the sense of blueberries and cranberries. So that's another thing that people don't really realize about New Jersey. When people talk about New Jersey, they often think of the Sopranos, northern New Jersey with the oil refineries, and hey, forget about it, But down here we have this almost 5 million acres, right, of unique, diverse, agriculture. I have found, there's carnivorous plants, right? There's the sundials and the
Sundews and
right, and the what are the other ones, Andy?
the pitcher plants.
Pitcher plants, right, and some animals like fence lizards and things you don't see anywhere else.
They're all small plants. There's no
Yeah.
you're going to get in good quality.
And one
Good size.
of my theories, because we often have interruption with our radio communications on expedition. Underneath us is the KMC aquifer, the world's largest source of pure drinking water. And I'll tell you, because of all the bog iron, we feel that the trees actually grow and take the water with the bog iron in it, and it creates almost like a Faraday box, you know what I mean? Which disrupts our radio communication when we're on our expedition. So it's kind of a fascinating concept. One that I haven't proven yet, but we're still trying to get better radios to keep in touch. They're all blurry.
The aquifer is probably the Pine Barrens, the Pine Land's best kept secret. 17 trillion gallons.
K&C, yeah.
The curvature lands the aquifer,
Yes.
17 trillion gallons of water. So that's impossible to wrap your brain around. So if I were to say it could fill the state of New Jersey with 10 feet of water, that's a little bit easier to look at a map at a picture of New Jersey and see exactly how vast this body of water is. And so as far as protecting the pines and the pine lands, the trees and all of the plants and animals are fantastic. But it's impossible to see the most important part, which is the water.
Right. That's why I thought it was worth noting.
Everybody that lives here has a well, and everybody's well is tapped into that water source. And it is sacred.
It's about 10 feet underground.
Yeah.
So really very, very close to the surface.
Yeah, in some places you could dig and the water's at the tip of your spade after a few shots.
And a lot of the farmers, the cranberry farmers and blueberry farmers, I mean, they're utilizing the water right there. Whenever we come to a bog, that's actually part of the KMC aquifer.
Oh. That story you were telling me earlier, Eric,
Yes.
about the scientists and the dimensions, how much of that do people that live around here actually know about?
To be perfectly honest, I've never heard of that before. I always thought of Ong'S Hat as just this old kind of, community that maybe had some alcohol being, during Prohibition, there was booze coming through the area, there was some prize fighting going on, more of the rough and tumble type of history.
Yeah.
I never really knew about all that other interdimensional stuff and the whole, AGR or whatever it's called. I'm originally from Long Island myself, so I've been down here about 40 years, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I get the sense that it's one of these things that perhaps isn't known as well around here as it might be in other pockets of the world, thanks to, I guess, the web. Does that idea ring true to you guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. I think the internet is definitely what has brought about so much interest in that particular topic. I mean, like I said, I've lived here quite a while, and my interest when I was a younger man was just going out and hanging out in the forest with my friends, had a bonfire, and having a keg of beer, and just avoiding the police.
I think that rings true though now.
Does that, the idea that people around here don't know it as well as perhaps other people in the rest of the world do because of the internet, does that ring true to you, Andy?
Well, I think so. In the early days of the internet, they were mainly more chat rooms, and there was not a lot of content on the internet, really. Maybe lists, things for sale, and basic chat room stuff. But now the internet's allowed people to go mapping, look at photos, look at tracks, and that's really opened up the Pine Barrens and allow people to come in and discover more, of the historical side of actually what occurred here over the last couple of hundred years. Pre-industrial revolution times with the Native American Indians, right the way through to, the early iron forges, the wood sawmills, and the most recent, cranberry industries. So the internet's allowed people to do kind of more tabletop exploring, and then that allows them to come out once they've chosen a place to view, to come out and actually visit it in person. And that's an issue we have, I think, with the Pine Barrens now. We have noticed a lot more damage to some of the old ruined villages that still exist, like Harrisville. We have one near Adventures, Hampton Furnace, which is unfortunately been vandalised by spray painting and brick removal of some of the old buildings. It's an unfortunate part of becoming more known and having better access.
You can kind of see why stories get attached to this place, though, can't you?
Oh, it's eerie. At night, it's really especially eerie. I mean, you can be out here and you can see just looking up how the trail, if you were lost and you didn't have a headlamp on, you'd be able to at least navigate somewhat because of the light between the trees, But I mean, then you're walking down the path at night and you might hear something snap on the side of the, the brush to your left, and you're thinking, what is that, Barred owls and other owls make some strange noises, and it can be quite, unnerving, shall we say.
And you keep coming back here.
Oh yeah, well that's what we do. I am out here I have probably more boots on the ground experience out here than most of the researchers that do the type of study that I do with the elusive Sasquatch. But we have a lot of fun doing it, and I lead groups out here. We do expeditions every year. I teach other people how to go about looking for these creatures, and we do it in a scientific manner. I also now started a podcast myself. I'll give a shameful plug, Squatch Talks podcast.
Mate, you gotta hustle when you gotta hustle.
Hey, Squatch Talks podcast, yes. But no, we have.
Listen to that voice, my God.
We have actually.
I aspire to that level, that kind of depth of voice.
Thank you. That's kind. I actually am an investigator with the PFRO. That's the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. And like I said, my good friend Nathan and I have been doing a podcast now for just about a year. And we're just having fun, telling stories from real stories and encounters from real researchers. That's our tagline,
Every day about the Jersey Devil, and I never heard stories of modern Jersey Devil stories. When I was a kid, they were all old-time stories. And everybody's seen the Jersey Devil now, and everybody's seen Sasquatch now. It's unbelievable,
I think, though, the problem is, Rob, that a lot of people have these Jersey Devil encounters when they're under the influence of some type of substance.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's easy to, misidentify something like that if you're not clear-minded. I mean, I personally believe the Jersey Devil legend is folklore, as I said. It's been perpetuated all these years since Mrs. Leeds allegedly gave birth to the Devil Child by people who have had encounters with Bigfoot out in the forest. And if you think about it, an 8-foot-tall creature with red glowing eyes, right, screaming at them, and they have a very distinct, powerful yell. And if they're raising their arms and their hair is hanging down 4 or 5 or 6 inches long, it could look like wings flailing, right? And I think that's really what has perpetuated the Jersey Devil folklore all this time.
There is a decidedly Blair Witch Project vibe about this work at the moment, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it was fun. And like I said, it's always good to get out with other people, other researchers, and production companies to see how they go about doing stuff, because I take all that stuff in and I can hopefully put it to good use in the future.
Right.
1 Adam 12, 1 Adam 12, 211 in progress, man with gun.
Not a Sasquatch.
Well, hey, that's pretty cool though that she's out there, especially at night with her hopefully dash cam going. You never know what she could get.
That's right. Driving around the boondocks in New York.
Right? Yeah, I think they got snow already up there.
Yeah, like 6 feet. What do you do with that?
Stay home.
Yeah, good God. That's like a nightmare. 6 feet of snow at one time.
Bigfoot has trouble getting around in that, I'm sure.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, he's got built-in snowshoes.
True. Yeah. So I had my friend Patrick in, the CBD guy from the Wisconsin company, bringing me some product today, and he was kind of in and out, but I mentioned after the holiday we need to get together and talk about doing these molds.
Yeah.
So I can make up some recasts. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And he's all hot and heavy to do that, and he's the one with the brother who has Mystery Town, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so we're going to talk about getting some other items to sell in addition to these cool shirts. Where are we? Ta-da. And mugs. To-do. But yeah, I'm not using my
And tumblers.
and tumblers. Thank you, with the footy prints. Yes, I didn't use the Squatch Talks because like you, I needed a little extra caffeine today. So, cheers. But yeah, there's a lot going on. A lot going on in the world.
Yeah.
A lot of events taking place. Not all good, but there's hope yet, and
There's
today's
always
no
hope.
exception. I went to stop at Wawa. I had to drop off Heather's lunch to her. And I stopped at Wawa to get my assistant an iced latte. And I remembered I had eaten the last of my chocolate covered peanut butter pretzels. So I grabbed a bag of them and I got her latte and I'm heading out to my truck. And I left the window open about, 3 inches wide. And I didn't want to fumble and spill the latte. So I threw the bag with the straw of the bag of peanut butter pretzels and the straw through the window, and the keys slipped out also and fell into the truck. And I said, did I really just do that? Like,
A good deed goes unpunished.
yeah. So thankfully the window was partially open.
Right.
I couldn't get my fat arm in to reach down and unlock the lock, right? And so one of these, long story short, people are still nice, right? One lady offered me a hanger, but her other friend said, no, our hangers are no good for you. They have some kind of felt covering around them. She said, go ask the dry cleaners. So the dry cleaners, I asked to buy a hanger. She gave me one. And I'm trying to push the button because it's a button inside right there. All I got to do is push it down, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't get it. Obviously, I was pushing on the lock mechanism. So another lady comes up and she says, well, maybe a smaller arm would work, right? But she's short. So she goes and gets a crate to stand on. She's reaching in, can't reach it, sets off the alarm, goes back to her car and gets a step ladder out. And we got it open.
There you go.
And there's still kind people out there,
Oh, that's what we need. You just have to love your neighbor, and then everything's just going to go away.
Absolutely.
All it is.
And it doesn't end there. Yesterday, I had a couple of ladies into the shop for the first time. And so I helped them out with some of the things that they were looking at and needing. And the daughter says, I mentioned I had to go get a pumpkin pie to bring with me to the in-laws. And she goes, I got one in the car. Would you like it? I said, what do you mean? Like, you want to sell me it? Or she goes, no, we do charity work, and we got them from Costco's, and we gave up all the ones we have, got some extras. I got Apple too. I said, hey, if it's free, why not?
Wow.
I literally got these 2 huge pies from these ladies for free, and I offered her something for it, and she politely declined. So how generous was that?
That's great.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it is good. Makes you feel good.
It really did.
There's still people out there that care.
Absolutely. And it's so nice to see that still is the case,
Definitely.
So yeah, I've got a lot to be grateful for. Hey, what does Sasquatch eat with his turkey dinner?
I don't know. A deer?
Well, if they're having venison, he would have a side dish of Sasquatch.
See, I'm even into dad jokes, and I didn't like that one.
Hey. All right, let's have a vote. As we were saying, I think it's just important this time of year that we do take a moment to think back about what we are grateful for. And I have a lot to be grateful for this year, especially, just the fact that our families have good health. And I think what we've done over the past 10 months is gratifying.
It's been fun.
We've been able to get together and put this together and be consistent with it. And it's starting to show,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
So,
and one thing I do want to bring up for our viewers, our normal fan base there on the live chat. Where are you going? December 3rd. December 3rd, we will be investigating a dog man sighting.
Woohoo! Finally. Ow! Ow!
That's right. We'll even have a guest researcher with us, Brother Dan. And
is brother-in-law Brian coming too?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I
But
think
he's not new.
But I just wanted to know who the team was going to be.
Yeah.
Because obviously extra boots on the ground is always good.
Yeah. I'm going to have to bug out early though. I have a prior engagement that I must attend at 7:00 in Collegeville. So I must be there at 7 p.m.
I'm glad I'm coming up earlier then.
Yeah, I promised, and I can't back out of this one.
And is that going to require your being gone all night then? Is that, or do we
No,
get back together again afterwards at your place?
Yeah. Yeah, we'd get back together again back here. Yeah, I'd be gone for maybe 2 hours.
Oh, okay. So then we could theoretically continue researching.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm just going to drive separate.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah.
No problem. We'll miss you.
Oh, I'm sure.
You're going to ditch out on us when it gets scary, I bet.
Yeah. Well, as soon as we get to the werewolf shit, I'm out. Right. Crystal wants to come along. She's, got the salt and the whatever else you need for werewolves. I don't
Dowsing rods.
Oh, yeah, we got them.
Right. Need them. And having Brian along will be good to be our spirit medium as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
No, it's good to have that kind of stuff. We all have our own talents as far as what we're good at.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. I got like the next 3 Saturdays off for some reason. Just worked out.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I'm ready. But yeah, so looking forward to eating some good food over the next couple of days.
Yep, lots of family
and friends, and making memories, getting outdoors. Hopefully we'll get yelled at, be chased out of the woods. I don't mind that. And if you're not doing anything Saturday night, which is tonight now, obviously.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for clicking on the video. We appreciate you. And we hope everybody's safe out there and watching out after one another. And hopefully you enjoyed last week's episode. I haven't heard any comments since the initial, but we had some nice comments about the drone footage and about just, seeing us off our asses and out in the world doing stuff. So
yep.
I think it'll be good having other people helping us out with the filming and the editing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we can do more shorts and stuff too, So
I'm working on it.
And so if you have any encounters out there that you wish to share with us, you can reach us a couple of ways. You can go to
Squatch Talks Podcast, gmail.com.
Right there. And also we have a report, a submission form you can fill out on our website at
nasbro.net.
That's
right.
It.
Yep.
Perfect.
Nasbro. Sorry.
I'm not moving.
Okay.
Perfect. And of course, we would be remiss without thanking our friends at YetiBars.net. And don't forget to use code STP10 at checkout to get an extra 10% off. Right now, they're having a sale. Their fall sale is going on. So you'd have an opportunity now to get an additional 10% off if you go and purchase up to, I think it's only $70 to get free shipping right now. Okay?
I will have to take advantage.
So now's the time, people. I don't know if the Squatch Talks podcast bar is ready yet, but it will be soon. It's going to smell great, and it's got good ingredients made by a couple of guys out in New Mexico by hand, and we're looking forward to having some. And
yes, we are.
And some new merch. Loving my new shirt, STP. I love it. And, and the coffee mugs. Nathan's been working hard with Tira, and lots of good stuff.
That's right. Lots of good stuff.
And so we're grateful for you. And we also are very grateful for you as liking and sharing and
subscribing.
That's
right.
So Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you had a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.
That's right. Thanks for squatching. I'm not
And a
doing
one, and a two, and a 1, 2, 3. Welcome
Come
back.
back.
One more time. Let's
No.
no laughing this time. It's all blooper stuff, you know what I mean? All right, ready? A fucking Squatch Talks podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
I knew there was something in this mug. I think there's a hair.
Looks like I need a new light ring for Christmas. I don't think I'm gonna have a light this evening.
I don't think you need it. Looks
Look
all right.
All right. Come on, bitch.
I need somebody to drill a hole in here and here for Christmas.
Yeah. What's going on? You still from the last time we talked?
It's just getting worse.
Oh shit. A little spit. That always works, right?
Yeah.
What is it? Duct tape. If it moves, duct tape it. If it doesn't move, WD-40. All right.
And if not, spit on it.
I'll tell you, spit takes off everything.
Yeah.
When I said I was gonna say we were going to promote them in the podcast in that portion, I meant just went out of my head again. Damn it. What I meant,
I'm the one with medicine head.
the alternate reality gaming. Two people from the BBC. It was
You're really echoey all of a sudden. Is it me?
I don't know. Let me check my settings. You know what? I'm on stereo and I have my gain high. Let me change this. How does that sound? Testing 2.
That
3.
sounds way nicer.
Okay. That
You
might
were-
have been why.
You were in a cave earlier.
I changed it to stereo to record that narration that I did on our episode.
Put the ball guy back on.
Yeah.
Ah,
I look like crap, dude. I gotta go to bed. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Holy God, that was loud.
I'm sorry. That's why. What I figured. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I got to adjust my microphone. I think I just touched the cord like a dumbass. Just next time, though, you don't have to have it recording for the whole time. You know what I mean? Just do the clip, pause it.
Yeah.
Then you won't have that huge file to send next time. You know what I
Right.
mean? So,
Well, I didn't realize it was gonna be that difficult.
Well, now we know. I'm just saying.
Jesus God, that was a pain in the ass.
Unbelievable.
we're not going to see you this Saturday. It's a week from Saturday, right?
Right. Yeah, this Saturday I'm booked.
All right.
So,
Well, happy Thanksgiving.
yeah.
I love you.
Love you too, man. See ya.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Squatch Talks Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and give us a like. And stay tuned for more exciting stories on Squatch Talks.